One of the things I like about James Cook is that despite his size of that of a scat back, an open area satellite player, he does have some toughness to work between the tackles. I mean, you can see that's a head-on hit from a linebacker through the A gap, and he bounces right off that and is able to fall forward and get a couple of yards. He turns lemons into lemonade on that play. And when you can give Cook a hole, he's going to hit it decisively. He's got the burst to do it. He's a good fit for a gap scheme where you have pulling guards on traps, counter, power, toss, where that puller is part of that lead blocker, and you get an alley opened by the down blocks on either side, and he hits this with a nice little press towards the 9 and then back outside and weaves around and gets a good 9 yards on this play. Gap running is a good fit for him because of the fact that his speed is going to get him into the hole and his shiftiness is going to get him around defenders. Cooks can also be a beneficiary of the Bills scheme where they play these 2 tight end sets, really even 3 tight ends here, and you've got Knox on one side, you've got Morris over here next to him, and then you've got backside Dalton Kincaid, and then you have Sherfield here. Sherfield and Kincaid threaten the seam. They get everybody to drop back here. You get your extra pass protection from the tight ends here, and that occupies this side of the defense. And then you get Cook slipping through. Everybody's run off here by Kincaid and Sherfield. And you get a nice chunk gain from Cook, who finishes strong as well. When you can outrun the linebacker dropping here, I mean, that's an extra 12, 13 yards right there. One of the most successful plays for James Cook against the Raiders last week was the draws. He got a lot of yardage on draws because you're simulating punt return space plays because the line splits are going to be wider. As a result, you're getting 2 of the 6 defenders to come up field off the edges here, essentially eliminating them. And so you're going to wind up in a situation where he's going to have some soft spots to exploit. And look at the splits here. You know, these are pretty wide line splits right here. And they just flow over to this. It almost looks like a screenplay in a sense. And this defender's rushed upfield like that. It essentially is a screenplay. Here's another draw play. Now they just do it where they have the 2 tight ends on the side that they're actually going to run the draw to them. So now you have 1, 2, 3 on 1, 2, 3, you know, and you add Cook as the 4th offensive guy, so it's a 4-on-3 advantage. And he presses and bounces outside and beats the cornerback around the edge. And because Cook is a little bit stronger than he's given credit for, when you run a toss and you get him to the outside here, he's going to pull through reaches like that because he's fast and that momentum generated power. You got to get a good angle on him to hit. The linebacker just can't wrap him up at the waist here. He's going to pull through that. So, you know, that's some nice work picking his way through that. You know, you get good seals inside here. Good seal outside, and he nice little stutter to get in to set that up. Pull through that wrap. Got a nice block downfield by number 86, Knox, or 88, Knox. Well done. Here's another draw. Looks like a screenplay again. 3 guys slide over to the right. You got that 4th guy over there too. Little delay. He kicks. A couple guys kick out to the perimeter. Look at number 60. Kind of slide past that defender. Get underneath. He kicks out to the flat. Now you have essentially a screenplay that's really a draw. But I mean, it has that same look to it. It works so well, let's do it to the left side here. 3 guys sliding out to that left. A little delay. He makes the first man miss. And then once he does that, 14 yards up the flat. So he can be his own blocker too with that nice little stutter and open of the hip. See how he points the toe right there? Points that toe to the outside, flips his hips all the way around and gets past. That's really nice movement from the running back. Because when you can open the hips that quickly with one step, you're going to be able to beat penetration, which he does. Look, James Cook is no Chris Johnson. Okay, I'll put it that way. He's not CJ2K. But he's a nifty runner, and he does well in tight creases. One thing I really liked about him at Georgia, works towards the double team, away from it, and then cuts back inside. Let's look at it one more time here. You get the double team of the guard and tackle. He works downhill towards that, sees the linebacker shooting this gap. So he makes this nice little pressure cut to the outside. There's the edge defender and contain on block. And he stretches it out just enough to get towards Gilliam and then cut back inside after pressing Gilliam's outside shoulder to draw that contain in. Keep those blocks set up to the outside because Five's hanging outside there, getting ready to contain that outside bounce. And then he goes right back in that tight crease and then makes a beautiful little cut on the safety here to get downhill. Let's look at it one more time all the way through. So you get the initial press towards the double team. Linebacker gets through, presses outside the shoulder of Gilliam to keep these contained defenders in their spot, squeezes through this crease, makes the first man miss. Nice job lifting that foot up to get away from the wrap. 36 yards.